Hi everyone, this is Jeff from Jeff's Flight Log. This interactive 360 VR video of my flight in the canyons and valleys of the San Rafael Swell is about as close to an actual trike ride you can get, short of flying in one yourself. Be sure to look around, left, right, straight down, and straight back. See how many spires, arches, and windows you can spot, hidden away in the canyons. Towards the end of my last video, I was on my way upstream when I noticed a mysterious side canyon merging in from the west. The canyon was deep and it disappeared around a corner, but there was a strong flow of water emptying downstream. I was too wary to just head into this unknown canyon, so I flew out the main channel and climbed up to examine the side canyon from above. I saw it was mostly straight with a flat bottom, and further out it seemed to melt away, similar to the way the main canyon had dissipated. Beyond that, I had a mostly blank spot on the map marked by a few intermittent streams. I returned to the main channel and dropped back down into the canyon. I saw the Y intersection ahead. As the side canyon drew near, I took a deep breath and turned into the unknown. I had become accustomed to canyon flying earlier, but my first thought on entering this canyon was that it seemed a lot deeper and a lot narrower. Too narrow to turn around, but as long as I remained calm and stayed on course, I would be okay. The path ahead was clear, and I could always go to full power and climb out if necessary. The canyon was mesmerizing and hypnotically beautiful, but this was no place for complacency. I came around this corner and saw a deep canyon angle off to the left. I stuck with my strategy of following the water. Look up the dry side canyon on the left side here. It ends in an overhanging cliff. I saw a column of rock rising out of the center of the canyon. I kept it simple and just hopped over the meander to the left of the column. This would be a good spot for a turnaround, and when I return here someday, I'll probably circle the pylon. I had left the deep part of the canyon behind me now. It was a little bit more relaxing to fly here. The canyon walls melted away, and the river channels seemed to fan out in every direction. The main flow of water headed northwest, in the opposite direction of my final destination, Mexican Mountain. So I climbed up high and took a look around. I realized I'd taken the wrong branch and crossed over to a deep canyon heading east. Right as I entered, I saw a tall, pointed spire at the center of the canyon. I had no idea where this canyon was going, but it was mostly straight with a wide, clear path ahead. I settled in and just drifted by these huge walls of stone. A large butte rose on the left side of the water channel, with a canyon heading off to the left again. I followed the main flow of water to the right. The terrain had become more friendly, with a wide and mostly clear canyon bottom, and I could see for miles ahead now. I had no more worries about the end of a box canyon abruptly rising to block my path. I flew just above the edge of the inner gorge, where I could see what was coming up, but also get a good look at the rocks streaming by. This looks like a great place to land and camp. Maybe for a bush plane, but not for my trike. I could plop down on the sandy stream bed, but it would be nearly impossible to take off without putting in a lot of work to clear and smooth out a proper runway. The problem is my trike's nose wheel, which tends to dig in or start a turn in a random direction after thumping into a tuft of grass or a small rock. I was quite content to cruise up this beautiful valley and reflect on how relaxing this was compared to the initial leg of my side canyon adventure. This beautiful secret valley seemed to go on forever. On the right, at the top of the mesa, I saw a small window peering down at me. On the horizon, I saw some interesting towers of rock. I did not know anything about them at the time, but the tower on the left is called the Devil's Monument, and the one that looks like it's split in two is called Joe and his dog. I've been poring over the maps of the area, and I can't wait to return and explore the valley in much more detail. The sun was getting low, so I veered off to the small valley on the left, which gave me a much more direct path back to the Little Grand Canyon. And I was able to check out the small window at the top of the mesa ahead. Far in the distance, I saw a pair of crags that marked the edge of the basin. I wondered if I would be able to retrace my flight and return to this point. When you enter an unknown area, going upstream allows you to pick the most scenic branch of the canyons ahead. Another consideration is to choose a path that is not blocked by the impassable end of a box canyon. How do you do this when you don't know what lies ahead? My solution is to follow the branch that had a flow of water. This almost guaranteed I would not encounter a cliff face blocking my path because the flow of water in a cliff would create a scenic waterfall. And since I knew there were no spectacular waterfalls in the San Rafael Swell, choosing the canyon with water also meant choosing a path that did not have a dramatic cliff face that would block my way. When I had to readjust my course earlier in the flight, the canyon branch I missed was shallow and modest, obscuring the huge canyon with the spire at the center that was just around the corner. Next time I fly here, I'll remove all these choices and ensure that I see everything again by flying downstream. It would be an easy flight without the added stress of picking my way through the maze of canyons. I'll probably start at these crags, or maybe the next canyon over by Joe and his dog, and then just head downstream. 30 minutes later, I'll be at the bottom of the Little Grand Canyon near its junction with Buckhorn Draw. I flew right between the crags and entered a wide basin, marked on my map as Cane Wash. My map showed it flowed downstream to the left, where it joined the San Rafael River. The canyon walls slowly grew on both sides, and before I knew it, I was flying down another amazing sandstone canyon. My GoPro Max 360 camera stopped at this point, so this video is from my backup GoPro 7 on the opposite wing. If you like this view, check out my alternate version of this video using this camera. It was good to escape the rugged canyon country for the more friendly landscape of the San Rafael River. It was very relaxing to cruise over the golden cottonwood trees again. I had timed things just right. I was just 12 miles from the Mexican mountain airstrip, where I would land just after sunset in perfect conditions. I set up my tent and built a small fire of dry cottonwood branches for companionship. It was very still and quiet that night. I could hear every twig snap. My mind played tricks on me, and I woke up in the middle of the night, certain I'd heard people talking outside my tent. It was Halloween night, after all. I was ready to go home the next morning. I hope you liked this flight. Please note I've made an alternate version of this video with my other wingtip camera, which shows much more detail, but with a much more narrow field of view. Please share this video with your friends and leave a comment if you like it. And come back here for more trike flying adventures at Jeff's Flight Log.